4:15 a.m. The alarm cuts through the silence like a blade. You wake up in a bedroom that costs more than most people earn in a lifetime. Duty calls. But there's a problem. You're at your estate in the Hamptons, and the office. It's in the heart of Manhattan. For anyone else, that's an impossible commute. But you? You don't live by their rules. A sleek, black SUV is idling in the driveway, waiting to whisk you to your private chopper. While soaring over the coastline, you check the Tokyo updates. You lost $12 million while you slept. No big deal. You cleared $40 million yesterday while eating a tuna sandwich. The helicopter touches down on your private Manhattan helipad. Your VP is right there, breathless, briefing you on the morning's chaos. But before you hit your corner office, you decide to do a walkaround. It's time to make them feel your weight. You stop behind a junior analyst, a Harvard kid. He's been grinding 120-hour weeks, hasn't slept in 3 days. You glance at his screen. The Excel sheet is sloppy. You tear into him right there, in front of everyone. You leave his ego in absolute shreds. Never make this mistake again, you bark. The kid is visibly trembling. He stammers, "Yes, sir." You don't even acknowledge him, you just move on. The air here smells like two things: raw ambition and fear. It's not just the Harvard prodigy. The very air in here vibrates with raw electricity. To your left, a trader is screaming into his mic, slamming his fist down with such violence that a key snaps off his keyboard. He just watched $500,000 vanish in a heartbeat. 2 minutes later, he's roaring with laughter, trading high fives. A desperate gamble just put him back in the black. It's pure insanity, and it's your oxygen. You brush past Big Tony. He isn't hunting for patterns on a candle chart. He's obsessed with the Brazilian weather forecast. Why? Because a rainstorm in the tropics means a ruined coffee harvest. Prices will skyrocket. And the positions he took yesterday will fund his entire divorce settlement. 9:29 a.m., 1 minute to the opening bell. The room falls, deathly silent. 50 men in $3,000 suits stand frozen, eyes locked onto 6 monitors apiece. Then the bell rings, and hell breaks loose. This is not an office. It's a gladiator arena. You step into your glass sanctuary and pull the door shut, muffling the roar. You are the conductor of this madness. Everyone under this roof has a singular mission: generate wealth. You manage the fortunes of the elite, billionaires, massive pension funds, and Ivy League endowments. They don't just want results, they demand greatness. If the index climbs 10%, they expect you to deliver 20%. If the economy craters, they expect you to profit regardless. This is where the real game separates the men from the boys. Most investors are optimists. They buy a stock at $10 and pray for a miracle. That's cute. But you are a predator. You specialize in the dark art of short selling. While the world hopes for growth, you bet on the collapse. You don't just watch companies fail, you profit from it. You've spotted the limping gazelle in the herd, and the predator in you. It's ready to strike. While you sit in your glass-walled sanctuary, your analysts burst in with a confidential file. It's about the world's most beloved tech giant. Everyone thinks they're invincible. But your team? They found the fatal flaw. Their latest gadget turns into a literal grenade if it sits in the sun too long. You don't flinch, you smile, it's payday. You place a $500 million bet that this giant will burn to the ground. But you don't leave it to chance. You pull the trigger yourself. You step onto the set of a major financial news network, wearing a mask of grim concern. You look straight down the lens, and you deliver the death sentence. This company is worthless. It's a zero. The dominoes fall instantly. The panic. From pension funds to day traders, everyone hits the sell button in a frenzy. The collapse. The stock price doesn't just drop, it craters. The payoff. In 20 minutes of chaos, you've manufactured an $80 million profit. Then comes the beauty of the 2 and 20 rule. You collect a 2% management fee just for letting people trust you with their money. That's your baseline. But then, you skim 20% off the top of the winnings. You just cleared $16 million for your personal account, and all before the lunch rush. Now, you live like a king. You buy a mega yacht that houses its own getaway boat. You hang a multi-million-dollar painting in the lobby that looks like a toddler's crayon doodle. You take the wife to a 5-star dinner, then retreat to the Hamptons estate with your girlfriend. How do you stay at the top? Do you study the newspapers? Please. Newspapers are for the masses who lose. You don't gamble. You optimize. In the industry, they call it alternative data. In reality, it's high-tech espionage. You pay guys like Vinny to crawl through the brush outside a Nevada factory, counting every single truck that leaves the bay. You buy high-resolution satellite imagery from orbit just to track the density of cars in a Walmart parking lot. You read the signs before anyone else. Empty storefronts on a Saturday, that's your crystal ball for a disastrous earnings call. You're the one tracking the CEO's tail number. A trip to Omaha is white noise, but 3 flights to the Cayman Islands in 7 days? That tells you the ship is sinking, and the captain is looting the safe. You smell a corporate collapse long before the auditors even open their spreadsheets. When you spot a weakness, you don't just invest, you strike. You're the king of the world, until your ego blinds you. 6 months later, you go all in against a new player. You're convinced their latest innovation is a flop. You put $1 billion on the line, betting the house that the stock will crater. Then comes Monday morning. The news breaks. It's a global sensation. The stock doesn't just rise. It erupts. It doubles in 60 minutes. This is the ultimate nightmare. In a long position, your risk is capped at 0. But when you short a stock and it moons, your potential for loss is infinite. It's a financial black hole, devouring every cent in your portfolio. Your phone won't stop screaming. It's the lenders, and they're panicking. They demand a wire transfer immediately to cover your margin, but your liquid cash is locked away in other gambles. You're suffocating in your $5,000 designer suit, drenched in cold sweat. In a fit of rage, you fire the Harvard intern just to feel a momentary spark of power. You're forced to liquidate your prize assets just to stop the bleeding. For a week, your only reality is black coffee and pure, unadulterated panic. You're paralyzed in front of the monitor, desperate for a lifeline. Then, the universe flinches. A scandal breaks. The CEO's reputation is trashed. The stock plummets, and you bail just in time. You didn't win, but you didn't burn. It's 9 p.m. on a Friday. You leave the tower and head to a steakhouse, where even the water is a status symbol at $20 a bottle. You scan the room. There are no allies here, only rivals and vultures. Your own child is a stranger to you. Your entire existence has been reduced to flickering pixels. You are worth $2 billion. You can afford every luxury on the planet, except for 8 hours of peace. Suddenly, your phone vibrates. Tokyo is trading. You just cleared another $2 million. The finish line keeps moving. It's never enough.